Hello viewers, SuperGT here on F1 2019. It's been far too long since I last played this, but we return for plenty more multiplayer shenanigans. Had another little session. Now here's my qualifying lap. You don't want to see the qualifying lap, you want to see the carnage. That's what you're here for. So skip to the race, let's see what happens. Into turn 1, last source hairpin. The source of all carnage in the world, as we go around the outside of a couple of people all involved in a big pile-up. So racing the classic cars here. Oh, Red Bull out of nowhere. Don't know where he came from. Just spawned out of the wall to try to assault the McLaren in front of me. But we move up into 9th place. And this is quite clear here as this Ferrari goes flying past that. Oh, and as I part the seas there, forget Hakkinen versus Schumacher, that was the best overtake on that straight to have ever happened, straight through the centre. Part the seas like Moses. Another guy off the track here. Jenson Button flinging across in his brawn. And we go a little bit wide bet. So, disclaimer before I really get further into this video. I'm not good. I'm a bit rubbish. So if you see lots of mistakes, not using the correct fuel mix or whatever, then yeah, it's because I'm rubbish basically, as kind of shown there. Keeping my nose in and spinning around, and then just spinning around on my own, just completely losing it. But to be fair, first race back in a long time. F1 2019, or F1 in games in general, just take a bit of getting used to if you don't really play them all that often. So first race we finished top half, 8 out of 16, and move on to the next one. We are gonna be part of the Alfa Romeo racing team. Just look at that team there. Taki, the absolute beast. He's ready to do business on the track, and where better of course than the best track in the world, Yas Marina. And during qualifying it didn't go too well, so I invalidated my lap, and then I invalidated myself by smashing into that wall.
Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
So, to be fair, Taki just wanted to get back on his private yacht and just have some drinks and some other shenanigans, so that's why he did that. But anyway, on to the race. Let's go, shall we? Let's see what happens. A couple of guys didn't actually bother moving. They just know what's going to happen. It's probably better, to be fair, just to go out the back and just wait for everyone to crash and die, and then overtake them that way. Through turn 2, is there going to be Mercedes off, smacking into the back of the Toro Rosso. This McLaren comes flying back on. Beautiful rejoin. Let's have a look at this again. So there he is, just comes back onto the track, smacks into his teammate, just full on assault basically. And to be, I wonder if he actually got a penalty. Maybe not. We'll actually find out maybe at the end. As I go for another little spin, I got familiar with the 180. It's probably my favourite. It turned out to be my signature move, alongside the classic corner cut, and even threw in a nice little slide there while doing this one.
Hey, if you don't behave yourself from now on, we're going to end up disqualified.
And look at this podium. A Williams won the race, dominated by Germany as well. All these Germans, 1, 2 and 3. So the realism, quite simply non-existent. Williams just dominating the race. But we move to Singapore. Let's see if things go better around the tight, twisty circuit here in Asia. And, well, okay, maybe not. Forget that idea. We go to the race. Let's see how this goes then. Starting towards the back, as per usual, into turn number 1. Okay, that was not too bad. Hulkenberg gets spun out. Hand of Doom gets raised. Mercedes ghosting through everyone. They've got a new upgrade where you can actually just go through people. Cool stuff. Through turn, is it turn number 4? Get through. 7th place. As long as you can avoid the carnage at turn 1 and 2, then you're normally going to gain a couple of positions. And unfortunately for me, because I didn't really get this far on my qualifying lap, I forgot my braking point. Or I just don't know my braking points. Into the next couple of corners. This Mercedes is just lunging up. I actually almost went underneath him there. The front wing has gone. And that's a common occurrence, let's face it, in F1. And once again, it's just one of those silly races where as soon as your front wing goes, it's just game over. You're not going to get anywhere because you have to pit and you're just going to lose about 1,000,000 years. This is the weirdest crash ever. smash into the wall again. Seems to be a theme of Singapore. I'm not sure what's going on here, but Williams once again with a big victory. The world actually imploded because of that. There's only one thing that can save me now, just one thing, and that's changing over to Rich Energy. In fact, I'm replacing Roman Grosjean. Look at that team there. That is the ultimate dream team. Rich Energy. There's nothing that can stop us now here at Barcelona. Starting 11th on the grid once again. Let's see how this one goes down towards turn number 1. It's a long run down to the first corner here. As we come in, all manner of chaos once again. We're going to take to this escape road, which is probably the best place to be. Up into 5th, or maybe 6th. So this Mercedes, this laggy Mercedes, has brought his big upgrades. Toto Wolff, you know, developing some top secret technology here. So rather than overtake people and have to go around them, you just go through them. And that is quite a big advantage if you think about it, where you don't have to go around the side of people. You can go through them. You're going to save a lot of effort. You're going to save a lot of time by doing that. But you're not going to save a lot of time by spinning around. So obviously my freshness was not quite there in this game. I do need to improve. Then a little bit later on, I found out the hard way that back markers aren't ghosted. Maybe I need some of that Mercedes ghosted technology to go through them instead. Alright, Baku, the scene of all chaos in the world. Let's see if this one can produce something better. We've gone through all the chaotic tracks so far, like Baku, Singapore. Well, to be fair, on this game, every track is chaotic. As this one proves again, Rich Energy, orgy on the exit of turn 1, smashed my teammate off. He retired from the race, I think. And I've got front wing damage again. Now, up behind this McLaren, I'm focusing on my settings and he just slows down on the middle of a straight and I go straight into the back of him. This really isn't going well. And yeah, Haas there, right at the bottom of the pack. And the only thing that can save me now is Austria. Come on, Austria. Produce something good for me. Let's have a look at our qualifying lap. It did take me a fair few races. This is probably like the 7th race or something by now. Just to really get used to the game. It's just not like any other game I've played in terms of how it feels, the physics, the way that you drive it. In terms of the way it feels, it doesn't have too much feel. I feel as though you have to kind of drive it very visually, this game, rather than through the force feedback or whatever. They're very wide through that corner and it's going to lose us quite a lot of time. And unfortunately for Austria, it's a very short lap, so you can't really afford to do that. Make a big mistake like that, you're going to lose quite a few positions on the grid. We've gone through the final corner. The last sector was actually not too bad, crossing the line, and that is going to be, let's have a look, what position will that be on the grid? It will be a 7th, there we go. Okay, that's not too bad actually. We're in the middle. Well, actually, in the middle is actually quite bad, but it's raining. This makes things very interesting. Can the rain perhaps provide us with some luck, which we have been dutifully lacking in all the races so far? Okay, away from the line we go. From 7th out of 20. Let the games begin. Up towards turn number 1. Up behind a Ferrari. McLaren out of nowhere steamrolls the pack out of the way. The Ferrari spins and I'm into the lead. Absolutely sensational start. 7th to 1st. A gain of 6. The McLaren out of nowhere just wiped everyone away, and the Ferrari spun as well for good measure. We gained 6 places. Okay, very deep at turn 2, and actually get away quite nicely. Quite worryingly, we have a Red Bull lurking very closely, and this kind of reminds me of the Austrian Grand Prix this year. So hopefully I can learn the lessons that Charles Leclerc kind of learned on that day a few weeks ago, where of course he got overtaken by Mr. Max Verstappen with only a few laps left to go. So let's see if this happens. Hopefully I can stay away from him. Hopefully I can keep the gap and come through for a sensational victory. As we said earlier, as I go very wide, as I said earlier, I think the key a lot of the time is the qualifying, or just how well you do on the first couple of corners. Can you avoid the trouble? If you can, you're in a good position most likely. So my qualifying has been absolutely shoddy so far. I think this was probably my best qualifying session, 7th. and obviously needs a lot of work on that department. But still here in the lead of the race. Can this possibly be a victory? In which case it would be an absolutely sensational victory. Treading very carefully through these corners, as I think is the best way to drive on this game. I found that I was actually overdriving to begin with. It's really easy, I think, on this game to really be too forceful with the car. But on the brakes, on the throttle, it's got to be really gentle, on the steering as well. And I find you actually go quicker by doing that. So once I started calming down and not being so aggressive on everything, I actually did a little bit better, as you can see here. So through the midfield sector, going well still. Can we sensationally bring the Rich Energy wagon to a victory? I've had my Rich Energy, I've stocked up, I've had a drink or two. Can this prove once and for all that Rich Energy is hashtag better than Red Bull? Or will this Red Bull behind me have other ideas? He's got his company's legacy in his hands right now. So he's got an important job. Helmut Marko is willing him on, as is, well, the entirety of the Red Bull franchise. So up the hill, we are we're approaching halfway into the race. 5 laps. It's a short race, this, as it is, again, only a short lap, just over a minute, although in the rain, of course, a little bit longer than it would be in the dry. I think he just got stuck on the curb almost there. So he's going to lose quite a lot of traction, did the Red Bull behind. And that kind of gives me a little bit more breathing space. I can just be a little bit more patient through some of these corners and not have to risk so much. So we've got a yellow flag coming up here. What is going on? We're lapping people already. I'm guessing pretty much everyone, apart from myself and the Red Bull, went for a new front wing. So the front wing industry is actually doing absolutely, amazingly right now. As this Ferrari just gets out of the way so we can get through there. So the front wing industry is booming right now, as the shareholders were licking their lips at turn 1 as everyone smashed into each other. Coming up towards turn number 1 then, lap number 4, 2 to go. Can we pull off a sensational victory? We have got a Mercedes in front, Pro Gamer, as we try to unlap ourselves, or try to lap him, sorry. And he's just going to shove us off onto the grass. Poor situational awareness from hashtag Pro Gamer, or inverted commas Pro Gamer. So this is a worrying time to be alive right now for any Rich Energy fan, as we still have a buffer of a Ferrari between myself and Mr. Max Verstappen behind, which is good, but we do have a inverted commas Pro Gamer in front of us trying to block us, and this is not an ideal situation and not an ideal scenario to be in. So into the infield, can we get past him? It's not quite easy. He's actually quite quick but a little bit erratic, trying to find our way past, but we're not quite close enough to do it here. He's gone wide onto the grass, into the barrier, back across the circuit, and he's oh my god, there's been contact. I've been pushed wide onto the gravel. We've lost the momentum, we've lost the position. Pro Gamer, man, what is he doing? As we go down into second with a lap to go. Oh, Jesus Christ, come on. We have to push now to try to recover our lead of the race. One lap in the race to go. Can we recover and win? I'm going to have to go all out. I kind of run out of fuel mix. I have to go back to standard. So this is not ideal, really not ideal, but I can go on to a bigger ERS deployment. So he's right there. Can he make one mistake, or is he going to keep his cool from here to the end? Under pressure from Rich Energy, under pressure from the Red Bull franchise to make sure he delivers this result ahead of the Rich Energy car. Deep into this hairpin, that's not going to help. It's still lashing down with rain. We're on the inters, and that really isn't helping proceedings as we go into the sharper corners. So, just a matter of corners left. I'm running out of time to catch up and overhaul the Red Bull. So we've got a yellow flag. Williams off on the right hand side, thankfully not coming back on with a nasty rejoin. So through the second to last corner. Through the final corner, it's going to be a second. It's going to be a second. And in order to catch up, I've been cutting corners. So unfortunately, it's a second place. That could have definitely have been a win, if not for Mr. Pro Gamer there. Unfortunately, Mercedes didn't bring their ghosting technology this time. It would have been nice if I could have just gone through him on that occasion. But wow, there we go. It was good fun, that race actually, and let me know your thoughts on the video. So I haven't played F1 2019 too much recently, but if you would like to see more, then please do let me know in the comments and just let me know your thoughts on the video. So we've got the Rich Energy team onto the podium. I suppose that will have to do for now. I do hope you enjoyed the video as always. Please do subscribe if you'd like to see more of the same, and I shall see you next time. Have a very nice day. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.